Well, hey everybody, thank you so much for watching this video. I wanted to talk today about the power of power statements. So when you build your resume out, you don't want to have bullet points on there that say things like managed a team. You don't want things like communicated weekly sermons. You don't want bullet points that say, oversaw budget. That doesn't tell the hiring manager or recruiter anything. You can say I managed a team. Well, did you manage, one part-time office manager, or did you manage 40 full-time staff? I mean, that's very different. You can't say I, preached every week. You can say I communicated to, five people or 5,000 people. That's very different. And what did you talk about? What was the result of you preaching? Manage the budget. Were you managing a $5,000 budget or a $5 million budget? I mean, those are two very different things. So that's kind of where the magic or the power of the power statement comes. So what I'm showing you right now is a learning and development specialist job in Newport Beach, California. This is on site. This is Tower Semiconductor. And I really like this job. And I'm going to show you some of the tells that make me like this job. The very first one, let me go ahead and get my antidote tool here, is the word specialist. Specialist tends to mean, I've said this before, entry level, just starting off. It says mid senior level here, but as we scroll down, you'll realize this is not a mid senior level role. This is more entry slash associate. I also like Tower Semiconductor. I never heard of them. Maybe you have. I don't live in Newport Beach, California. I never even been there. Um, they're not Google, they're not Facebook, or not Netflix. They don't have that brand name recognition, which is probably why they've had this job open for a week and only 23 applicants. That's pretty low. If this was a job at, let's say, Amazon, this would be 1 week in and have 2,300 applicants or more. So when you're transitioning from a pastor to a corporate job, I want to encourage you, look for jobs kind of like this, companies that you never really heard of, specialist, coordinator in the title, on-site jobs. I mean, everyone wants remote jobs, I get it, but on-site to start is a good place to start. And this is a really good way to kind of know, okay, is this worth hunting down? So as I go ahead and scroll down this down the screen here, I'm seeing you're looking for a career path in high-tech manufacturing industry. Okay. We're a global specialty. Okay. You're passionate about leading change. Yes. Personal learning is my heart and soul. I like that language. Let's do it. Passion to work, to drive constant change in a complex environment. Yes, please. I've worked as a pastor. It's very hard to drive change. And a team player, people person, creative dynamic with great project management and hands-on skill. So I'm going to skip responsibilities really quickly because I want to show you this as well. It might be kind of hard to see, but I'll read it out for you. A lot of these types of jobs will say you have to have a degree in human resources, applied psychology, what have you. This job says bachelor's degree required, a focus in human resources, applied psychology, or learning strategy preferred. And that's a good sign for us because maybe you don't have a degree in psychology. I don't. So some companies, they really want you to have that degree in that thing, but that's, in my view, kind of stupid, but that's neither here nor there. I'm not hiring for those jobs, so who am I to say? So let's go ahead and dissect some of this, what I call corporate jargon that all job descriptions have, because let's be honest, nobody talks like this. Nobody says implement creative OD and TD tools and programs such as management, leadership, development, online learning, and other trainings, interface improvements, team building. Man, I'm out of breath just reading that sentence. That's a lot of words. OD, organizational development, TD, talent development. What is this saying? This mumbo jumbo 3-line sentence is saying build programs to support staff. That's pretty much it. Build programs to support staff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear my screen. I'm going to do a new share. I'm going to share a Word document. with you. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in so you can see it a little bit better. And now we're going to get to the kind of where the magic is. All right, where the magic is. So I just copied and pasted, implement creative OT and DT, TD. I swear I'm not dyslexic. TD tools and programs. So now here's kind of where the magic is this right here. Let me go ahead and put it in red, make it nice and big. This is your power statement. All right. So all you're going to do here is you're going to spit back to them what they want to know about you. You're not going to put at the top of your resume here that you, I don't know, that you disciple people. I mean, this is, you did that. It's awesome. I love it. God loves it. But at the same time, that's not the top skill they're looking for. What they want to know is, did you build programs that helped people improve? All right, you tracking with me? All right, so what am I going to do? I'm literally going to spit back the exact same words to them. I implemented creative organizational development. We're going to do this. Development tools. So there's my action verb is implemented. Right there's action verb. Quantity, how many tools or programs did I, let's just use programs, not tools. I like programs better. Tool sounds like a hammer. Program sounds like something you built. Let's say you are a pastor and let's say once a month you had a board meeting with your leadership team. And part of that board meeting was to give them some, staff development, staff training. So we're going to say, monthly creative organizational, I should just do it like this, implemented creative organizational and talent development programs monthly that resulted in growth of leadership team. I'm going to throw executive leadership team in there to make it sound fancier. Is it lying? No, they're the senior leaders of the organization. Let's do that. So implemented creative, organizational, and talent development programs monthly, resulting in growth of leadership, executive leadership team. All right, I mean, that's okay. It's like a 5 out of 10 right now, but it's still not really telling them what they want to hear. It's not really showing what you've done perfectly. I see a lot of pastors, they throw that up there. They say, okay, good enough. I followed, Eric's formula. I'm going to get a job, right? It's like, well, let's dial it back here there, cowboy or cowgirl. So implemented, okay. And then the next thing you'll see here is quantity. Like, how many of these programs did you do in a given, let's say, month? Well, how many touch points did you have a month with your leadership team? Maybe you sent them a weekly email giving them updates of, things you're learning, things you're reading. Maybe you had that monthly meeting like I shared. Maybe you had a monthly one-to-one meeting with them. If you really stop to think about it, you saw them on Sunday, you talked for 15 minutes about, a project you're working on in the church. You've had multiple touch points with these folks that kind of all built out your program to help them grow and develop and be trained as part of your leadership team. How we do this, implemented 20 plus creative touch points of organizational and talent development programs monthly, resulting in growth of leadership, executive leadership team. Once again, it's okay. You sort of did that, but you really want to have like a tangible result. Okay, like how do you quantify how much someone has grown in a given year or given month? I mean, that's pretty near impossible. Like if you're doing a building campaign, that's pretty obvious. It's not that hard to know what your numbers were and what they became. But if you're doing something of this nature, learning and development training, how do you know? But here's one little workaround here is people stay in organizations where they're growing professionally. And that's not just corporate jobs, that's also churches where they're growing spiritually, right? So maybe you could stop to say, hey, what is my, result of someone being an executive leader of this church, elder, deacon, volunteer, Sunday school teacher, versus, the average person that shows up once a month on Sunday. Sorry for all the ringing. People are starting to come to my waiting room now. I'm going to wrap this up quick. You probably would say, wait a second, it's like a 50% chance or 70% chance or 90% chance they're going to stay engaged long term if they're on this team versus the average person that shows up on Sunday. So it's like, now we're kind of getting somewhere. So I implemented 20 plus creative touch points in organizational and talent development programs monthly, resulting in retention of 80% of executive leadership team. Now we're like, this looks pretty good, because now I'm looking at this and I'm saying, okay, this person does 20 creative touch points in a month, organizational and talent development programs for their executive leadership team, resulting in high retention. It's pretty good. So I'm going to put that for my bullet point. And I'm going to go down the list. Let me go back to the other screen. All right. And now I'm going to go ahead and grab facilitate workshops and OD sessions. There you go. I'm going to work down this list. I'm not going to do all of these. That's probably too many. But I'm going to do at least 3 to 5 bullet points to show that I'm the right person for this job. I'm just repeating back to them what they want in a way that quantifies what I've done. Uses action verbs, quantity, frequency, task, or project, and the end result. I could just say this, right? And this would be a huge miss. I manage a team. Well, okay, that literally means nothing. So there's power in power statements. This is the formula that you need to use. You start putting these into your resume, and all of a sudden someone looks at your resume and they say, wow, this person has done a lot. I'm impressed, and I want to bring them in for an interview. So I help pastors get jobs.com. Thank you so much for watching, and on to the next video you go. Can't find the stop recording.